State police are hours into a double homicide investigation in Owsley County. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but we'll tell you what we know so far.
A grand jury has indicted a man who admits a deadly apartment building fire started in his unit.
It is a pink out here at Churchill Downs. I'm Amber Philpott. Coming up, we'll have all your coverage from Kentucky Oaks.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon. Police are trying to figure out what led to a deadly double shooting.
The victims' bodies were found in a home on Wilson Lane near Boonville in Owsley County. Police have taken a person of interest into custody for questioning. Our Caitlin Setner is tracking the investigation in our top story at 5.
There's still a lot we don't know, but here's what we know so far. Multiple state police are still on scene working to figure out what led up to shots fired at this Owsley County home. Lynette McQuinn, who we're told knows the family, was taken in for questioning. Police have the home blocked off where they say 2 people were shot. We're told it was a man and a woman who lived here. It was around 11:30 this morning when police got a call 2 people were dead inside the home on Wilson Lane. They say it was a family member who made the call. Police were searching for 48-year-old Lynette McQuinn as their person of interest. They located her and took her in for questioning. Neighbors were shocked to learn what happened. They say they've met McQuinn on multiple occasions.
Yeah, I've seen her and talked to her several times, but like I said, didn't seem like she was all there.
A lot of questions still remain unanswered. We'll bring you the latest as soon as that information becomes available. In Owsley County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
And police say they expect to be on that scene for several more hours.
A grand jury has indicted a man investigators say started a deadly apartment fire. Jackie Heisel Jr. has been in jail since the fire in March at the B&P Apartments in Winchester. He faces 3 counts of manslaughter in connection to the fire. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is at the live desk with more on the case. Kristen?
Say Jackie Heisel Jr. started. One of those killed was his own son. The fire gutted a Clark County apartment complex back in March. Some were able to escape the flames, including Heisel, but his son Donald, Dixie Everman, and Tina Reynolds did not make it out. Heisel Jr. talked to WKYT from jail. He told us he was smoking and drinking in his apartment when his oxygen tank caught fire. Heisel is in the Clark County Detention Center on a $1 million bond. The smoke and flames damaged 10 apartments in all. 6 people were injured. At the live desk, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Heisel's circuit court arraignment has not yet been set.
A man is recovering after an accidental shooting. It happened about 10:30 this morning on Della Drive. Lexington police say the man was cleaning a gun when it went off and the bullet hit him in the stomach. We're told he went to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have found 2 toddlers alone in an intersection. They say their mother didn't even know that they were gone. Nicole Hamilton is charged with 2 counts of wanton endangerment, child abuse, and violation of a DVO in Clay County. Manchester police say the children made it from the town branch area to the intersection of 421 and Memorial Drive, where they were found last night. The children have been taken into protective custody. It's called Kentucky's Day at the Races. Tens of thousands of fans have packed Churchill Downs, many of them in pink, for Kentucky Oaks Day.
WKYT's Amber Philpott and Deanne Stevens are there in the middle of all the excitement.
Good afternoon, Sam and Jennifer from Churchill Downs, where it has been a picture-perfect day. Absolutely gorgeous. A perfect day to show off Kentucky to the world.
I would so agree. You know, it takes a lot getting here. You have to have the fashion, you have to have the hat, you have to know the horses. But you know what? Really, when I talk to everybody in there, they say, forget all that. Just come and enjoy.
Cold beer, cold water, who's ready? Cold beer, cold water.
They come from all around to take in one of Kentucky's greatest traditions, the Oaks. From the fashion to the lily drinks to the horses, of course, it is a great day to be at the track.
I mean, no one's in a bad mood. It's just so much fun. We're excited.
Oaks Day is all about the ladies. Pink is the signature color here. You see it everywhere. Even the fellas sport their best shade.
Pink all day. Lily for the ladies. Pink and proud.
I guess, pink day today, so you just try to roll with what's going on and take a look at what they have on Loudmouth, and this is the outfit I chose. So just again, trying to get in the spirit of the day today.
It's a pink party for tens of thousands as they anticipate the running of the Oaks, hoping to be tickled pink winners here today. Everybody having a great time. The one thing that I didn't mention in there that you seem to have to know is picking a winner, and that's the one thing that I still haven't done. I haven't even made a bet today.
Who has? None of us working today have. I tell you, some people don't even know there are horses racing here at Churchill Downs today, like those folks over maybe in the infield. Let's see what's going on over there with Victor Puente.
The infield is where you go if you want a party. Don't mind that there's also a horse race happening. The colorful clothes on display included some for a good cause.
Today's Breast Cancer Awareness Day, so I'm going pink. My mom and sister are both cancer survivors. So I got pink tutu, pink beard, pink shirt.
The souvenir shop in the infield gave people a chance to get out of the sun.
It's always been a dream, and it happened to come through.
And away from the crowd.
I've never seen so many preppy young men in all my life.
The infield may be separated from the rest of Churchill by a few tunnels, but the drinks still find a way to flow.
It's been boozy, to be honest. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but it's been pretty boozy.
I haven't had any yet, but I probably will get a Lily before the end of the day because the glasses are pretty cool. They are like $13, so.
It's not just the drinks that are a bit pricey. I got a cheeseburger, a bag of chips, and a bottle of water for $21. Hopefully I can write it off as a work expense. At Churchill Downs, Victor Puente, WKYT.
You just never know what's going on over there in the infield. Victor, thanks so much. Rob Bromley joining me now. We know today it's all about the Phillies and the Oaks, but we are looking ahead right now to the Kentucky Derby tomorrow.
Well, everybody has an eye on the Derby. There's no doubt about that. But it's the Oaks today, the Derby tomorrow, two of the greatest days that racing has to offer back-to-back for the 142nd year in a row, and it's all happened right here at Churchill Downs. Now, the favorite for the Derby is Nyquist, and he is coming off a tremendous performance in the Florida Derby. He's raced 7 times. He's won all 7, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last October at Keeneland. Trainer Doug O'Neill, jockey Mario Gutierrez, and owner Paul Redham won the Derby with I'll Have Another 4 years ago.
You're talking about a horse like Nyquist who's won 4 Grade 1s on 4 different tracks, and he's won in 3 different states, so he's got a lot of experience. I just think the team is a tad more optimistic this year, and you know, it's hard to say that because I'll Have Another won the Derby and the Preakness, so we'd be so blessed if he was as good as I'll Have Another. But he has shown to this point that you know he's a great horse, and there's a lot of great potential ahead for him.
Trainer Doug O'Neill, who won the Derby and the Preakness with I'll Have Another, and then had to retire him the day before the Belmont Stakes because of tendonitis. Maybe he could have won the Triple Crown. We'll see what happens with Nyquist tomorrow.
Do you have a pick tomorrow?
I think it's hard to pick against him. He's looked really good, and O'Neill and Team Nyquist have been really, really confident.
I'm going to go with my man Sam, that horse. Let's hope he doesn't scratch for more. All right, we've got a lot more coming your way from here at Churchill Downs. Coming up at 5:30, I've got a very special story about a Versailles woman who is walking in the Survivors Parade here tonight before the running of the Kentucky Oaks. From Churchill Downs, back to you.
Thank you, Amber. I think you should pick my man, Sam. That should be your horse.
Oh, yeah. I love that horse. I have no idea how good he is, but I'm going to bet him. Right.
Well, Churchill Downs isn't the only track full of fans on this Kentucky Oaks Day.
Thousands spending the day at Keeneland, where they will watch the run for the Lilies in a little less than an hour. Our Mike Linden shows us the fun will continue tomorrow for the Kentucky Derby.
While there isn't any live racing here at Keeneland today, that didn't stop race fans from coming out to the track to enjoy a day of Kentucky Oaks racing, perhaps a little more low-key than what's being offered at Churchill Downs. Rather than make the trip to Louisville, plenty of race fans opted to watch the Oaks races at Keeneland today.
It's a more relaxed atmosphere, fairly casual. Doesn't cost anything to walk through the gate. It's kind of nice.
Each year, Keeneland opens the gates for Oaks Day, where fans are encouraged to dress in full Derby attire, hats and all. Some make Oaks Day at Keeneland an annual event.
Once a year, this is what we do. This is our vacations. Come here for the Oaks and over there for the Derby and work with the horses.
Even though the horses are running at Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Oaks and for the Kentucky Derby, Keeneland will still be well represented across both of those races. For the Oaks, 8 of the 14 horses in the field are Keeneland sales graduates. And for the Kentucky Derby, 10 of the 20 in the field are Keeneland sales graduates. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. And if you're going to Keeneland for Derby Day, general admission is $5 and parking is free. Tailgate on the Hill will also be open for the first time on Derby Day. Hundreds of students taking part in some Kentucky Derby fun. The Lexington School holding its 37th annual Little Kentucky Derby this morning. Boy, they have fun. Preschoolers racing on wooden stick horses while the 5-year-olds raced on tricycles. Every racer paired with a middle school student, and they acted as the trainer.
I have a really neat project where I ask every 8th grader to write me a letter about what is their favorite memory of Lexington School, and I bet you almost a third of them reference this day as just one of those memories that they'll never forget and always cherish.
Of the 20 horses running in the Kentucky Derby, 10 of them have a direct connection to the school.
President Obama is weighing in on the race to take over his job. I'm Wee Zhang at the White House with what he's saying about Donald Trump coming up.
She faced cancer while pregnant. Meet a woman celebrating her first Mother's Day while fighting for her life in better living.
Weather starting out this Kentucky Derby and Mother's Day weekend looking much better, but is it going to end on a nice note? We'll track a cold front into town when I come back in a moment.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You can play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold, fueling imagination, funding education.
Discover Summer will make this summer fun, active, and educational. Pick up your map to adventure at any Lexington Public Library location. Earn points by attending a library program or trying a new library service. Find a complete list of how to earn points at lexpublib.org/discoversummer. Complete your map to adventure by earning 100 points before July 31st and turn in your completed map at any library location to earn a prize and enter for even bigger prizes.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend at American Freight. Over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture. 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway, same-day delivery. Come to the loading docks this weekend only at American Freight in Lexington, 272 West New Circle Road next to Walmart across from Jalapenos. Phone 226-0008.
Want the best selection of appliances?
Greg's got it!
Big savings on big brands. Samsung, LG, Whirlpool, and more. All with our 30-day low price guarantee and free delivery. H.H. Gregg.
Greg's got it!
Don?
Ned.
Trump?
Cruz.
Congress.
Mike Pape. You?
Yeah, Mike Pape. Unlike James Comer, who refuses to repeal Obamacare, Mike Pape will repeal Obamacare.
And unlike Comer, who's for Obama's amnesty, Mike Pape is against amnesty and will build the wall.
Mike Pape is a trusted conservative.
He'll make America great again.
I'm Mike Pape, and I approve this message.
This week on Wheel.
Wheels celebrating Seattle.
From our Emerald City-inspired studio to our very own VIP tour. Be a part of the sights, the sounds, and all the fun.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7 on WKYT. Get WKYT news and weather updates on News Radio 630 WLAP. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
We continue to push the ugly weather away from the Bluegrass State. Some nice weather's out there this afternoon, and it looks like that's going to continue into at least part of the coming weekend. Here's the overall setup. Big area of high pressure across the Plain States. The chill we've had over the past few now into the mid-Atlantic states. Hey, D.C., Philly, up into New York, Boston. It's your problem now. We are dealing with this big high pressure, giving us the mild weather today with out-and-out warm air just to the north of that into the mid and upper 80s in some cases into parts of Iowa right now. That's ahead of a cold front. Both of those systems, the warm air and the cold front, will be on top of us in roughly 24 hours from now. Right now, most thermometers are into the upper 60s to around 70. 69 Lexington, 70 into Frankfort, yet only 64 into Prestonsburg and Harlan. Why? You've had more clouds, you're closer to that low still, and you've got a sprinkle or two left in the tank over the next few hours. Overall, though, skies are becoming partly to mostly sunny as we await the arrival of that cold front. Now, that starts to influence our weather as we go into late tomorrow afternoon, heading into tomorrow evening. Ahead of that, though, we could hit the low 80s for an afternoon temperature. It's once we go into after 4 or 5 o'clock, you got to be on guard for a thunderstorm or two trying to crash the party from north to south. Hour by hour forecast this evening. We look good. Low 50s through 11 o'clock. Here comes the warm air tomorrow. You're going to notice that with a little cloud cover in the morning. That'll scoot on out of here. Noontime tomorrow, readings are into the low 70s. This is a new run compared to the run I was showing you a few minutes ago. And it has a little bit of a different look here already into southern Indiana. We're looking at this for the first time together. Has a little thunderstorm action. And by 5 o'clock, check that out. It has some scattered storms now trying to impact the Louisville area and into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. So we got to watch Churchill Downs for that. Then look what happens tomorrow evening. Clusters of thunderstorms race from northwest to southeast right on into Mom's Day on Sunday. Not a washout of a day, but boy, we could have some big temperature swings from the low 60s on Sunday afternoon to the low 70s outside of any thunderstorms, and you're seeing that right now in the hour-by-hour forecast. Same front, by the way, is going to try to hang tough as we go into our Monday as well. New rainfall forecast from that same model run is up the corridor of heaviest rains to better than an inch across parts of central Kentucky. Again, that comes with those just clusters of storms that ride on in here. Once we get into this pattern, it's trying to lock in for next week with a daily threat for some thunderstorms, and especially later Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some of those storms may take a walk on the wild side and be a little on the strong side, guys. It's been a quiet, severe weather spring so far. That's been the calling card of the past several years. We'll see if we can change that up over the next few weeks.
But what a fantastic Friday.
Yeah, today looks really good.
Thanks, Chris.
Couple of things happening, including a crash on Kirk-Levington just down from Tate's Creek. That is a non-injury collision. Police are still working that. The one on the inner loop of Man-O-War past Trent Boulevard pretty much been cleared now. We're seeing the slowest traffic on the circle up to red on the inner and outer loops between Winchester Road over to the Woodhill area right now on Richmond Road. Drive times to Nicholasville holding about 15 minutes or so. To Versailles, it's a straight shot across the county line. Now back to you in the studio.
The president is talking about the candidates who want his job and what he had to say about Donald Trump.
A former Central Kentucky constable pleads not guilty in a prostitution case. Why his lawyer calls it a case of politics on WKYT News at 5:30.
When severe storms roll in, we go to work to keep you and your family safe with continuous coverage on air, on WKYT.com, and wherever you are with our news and weather apps. First Alert Severe Weather Days, only on WKYT.
My car ended up here because someone was in a hurry and ran a red light.
Someone was texting and driving, and their negligence brought me here.
Some insurance companies don't want to pay you what you deserve. Your car gets crushed, and so do you. Car wreck? Think big. Get the Hammer.
Only $29.95.
What? You're not buying this. Come on. No.
Awesome.
No, too expensive.
Cut it out. This is embarrassing.
Come on, open up. You never let me have any fun.
Hey, what about a vacation? At Allegiant.com, we can get a great deal on flights and more, and that's fun.
How come most of the time I can't get you to open up, but going on vacation is okay?
One word, Allegiant.
Listen to your wallet and visit Allegiant.com now.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't, until I learned about Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure, custom make, and install right over your existing tub. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantees a watertight fit. Plus, they do it all in just one day. I know because I did it.
Our Splash in a Savings event is going on now. Call 888-997-1357 and save up to $500 plus a free upgrade package.
He's been turned down. Commence operation.
Hey! You need a car.
I got turned down for credit.
Turned down for what?
For credit.
Sorry, earwax. Turned down for what?
Credit.
turn you down, regardless of credit.
Save yourself. Get approved at Drive Time First. Call, click, or visit.
How's everything taste tonight, folks?
Oh, it's excellent. Where was it raised?
As a chef, it's important to know where your food comes from. That's why we buy local and Kentucky-raised food.
My boys are the 10th generation to farm in Kentucky.
We take a lot of pride knowing that what I set on the table is a good product.
And we're proud of the products that we produce. You're getting an excellent quality product.
We believe in what we produce. We feed it to our own family, and we're happy to share it with your family. Kentucky Farm Families.
Feeding Kentucky,
feeding the world.
Seems like every morning is the same blur. Get the kids out the door with their sets so that they can get to school and I can get to work. Just sitting at a red light, I get hit from behind. I called in Daryl Isaacs, the hammer, and they handled it for me.
Car wreck? Think big. Get the hammer.
Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT. Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Here's a look at the most viewed stories on our website right now. People want to know more about a family remembering a man killed in a trench collapse, job cuts at Morehead State University, and a Lexington mom charged after police say she left her toddler home alone while she went to Wendy's. You can find those stories and much more on WKYT.com.
Police have arrested a suspect in a string of deadly shootings in a Maryland suburb. Police say Eulelio Tordil shot his wife outside a high school last night. He's suspected of shooting one person outside a mall this morning and another outside a shopping center a few miles away. All three victims have died. Tordil is an employee of the Federal Protective Service, which provides security at federal properties. A Canadian city has started airlifts to save people who have no way to escape a raging wildfire. So far, the flames have burned more than 1,600 homes and other buildings in Fort Murray in Alberta. Nearly 90,000 people have been forced to evacuate. More than 1,000 firefighters and 100 aircraft are battling the flames. President Obama is weighing in on the candidates hoping to take over his job.
He is urging reporters to be tough on Republican Donald Trump, and he has not endorsed either candidate in his own party. Weijia Jiang has our campaign 2016 coverage.
This is not entertainment. This is not a reality show.
President Obama made remarks about Donald Trump for the first time since Trump became the presumptive Republican nominee.
I think it's important for us to take seriously the statements he's made in the past.
The president avoided questions about the drama unfolding within the GOP. Several Republican leaders are refusing to support Trump's candidacy, including House Speaker Paul Ryan and U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham.
I just can't go where Donald Trump would take us. I don't think he's qualified to be commander-in-chief.
RNC Chairman Reince Priebus says he's talked with Trump about the deep divide.
Just relax and be gracious, and I'll talk to Paul, and we'll try to work on this.
Ryan has invited Trump to meet with him and House Republican leaders next week. President Obama declined to declare Hillary Clinton the Democratic nominee, even though she has won 92% of the delegates needed to lock up the nomination.
Let's let the process play itself out.
Bernie Sanders is threatening a floor fight at the DNC convention, saying he'll challenge rules if he believes the process is unfair. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
A source tells CBS News that the FBI has interviewed Huma Abedin, a close aide to Hillary Clinton, about her use of a private email server. The last of the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus touring elephants have officially retired. The final 11 touring elephants arrived at the Center for Elephant Conservation in Central Florida this morning. 29 others are already at the center. A cemetery dating back to the Civil War running out of money for upkeep. Now they're hoping to raise the money on WKYT News at 5:30.
And she's celebrating her first Mother's Day, but she's also fighting for her life. More on one brave mom's battle with breast cancer during pregnancy in Better Living.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
Hey guys, it's Deanne Stevens here. When it comes to HVAC, the Comfort Man is the only name I trust. And right now, they're running a special where you can get a clean and check for $69. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the Comfort Man at 859-COMFORT today.
Set sail at Keeneland as Opralex presents Encore 2016. Enjoy wine tastings, a 4-course tasting dinner, great auction items, and Broadway-style entertainment. It's an enchanted tropical evening not to be missed.
Can you help me figure out what to plant in my front yard to help our curb appeal?
Sorry, I just started working here last week, so I'm not sure. Hey, can you help her find some plants?
Sorry, kid. I work in the plumbing department.
Can you help me figure out what to plant to help our curb appeal?
Piece of cake. First, you need a few dwarf boxwoods over there. Supplement those with a crate. Take your curb appeal to the next level. At King's Gardens, we share your passion for plants.
Paul, remember how Mommy used to wait a long time on hold with Time Warner Cable? Now, they call Mommy back when it's convenient for her. What did you just learn, Paul?
If Time Warner Cable can change, then so can I.
Now eat your vegetables.
Changing for good. Time Warner Cable.
His time has come to take the main stage spotlight. Get ready for country sensation Lee Brice. May 12th, 7:30, EKU Center for the Arts. A night filled with songs from his latest album, I Don't Dance, in stores now. Tickets are on sale now. Choose your seats and print tickets from home at EKUcenter.com. Lee Brice.
On Tuesday, I buried my dentures under 23 tons of cement. And I really freaked out because I needed my mouth for a very important event. So I called Aspen Dental, got in right away, and they made my new choppers in just a few days. And thanks to that service, I'm happy to say, I ate the most hot dogs in history today.
With dentures starting at just $3.99 and ready in days, not weeks. Dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
Name a kind of soup that's not appropriate for the office.
Chicken noodle.
You don't wear no chicken noodle soup in here.
Family Feud. 1 full hour starting at 7 on the CW Lexington.
Hey guys, it's Deanne Stevens here. When it comes to HVAC, the Comfort Man is the only name I trust. And right now, they're running a special where you can get a clean and check for $69. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the Comfort Man at 859-COMFORT today.
It's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. This Mother's Day is extra special for a first-time mom in New York. As Hannah Daniels shows us, she's fighting a major health crisis while welcoming her new daughter into the world.
Daddy's gonna take your picture.
Sarah Mithil is grateful for her little girl Sasha and her own health this Mother's Day.
She's such a good girl.
In November, she and her husband received shocking news.
We found out that we were having the baby with the home pregnancy test, and then a week later found out we had cancer.
The 34-year-old needed a series of scans right away, which involved radiation.
We decided, after weighing the risks and the benefits, that it was more beneficial to get the mammogram. So we shielded the baby. It's highly suspicious.
Scans showed cancer in both breasts. Dr. Sharon Rosenbaum-Smith from Mount Sinai West says many treatments are safe for pregnant women, but it's best to wait until after the first trimester.
There are certain ones that you cannot give during pregnancy, but there are other chemo regimens which are absolutely safe.
Sarah had surgery to remove the cancer, then started chemotherapy.
All the things you can't do when you're pregnant, like you can't eat, certain fish and you can't eat a hot dog. How can you put chemicals in your body? That just seems crazy.
Sarah finished chemo just before Sasha was born. She still needs radiation she couldn't have during the pregnancy.
I had really good care and really good support with my husband and my family, so I feel really lucky.
She's thankful she was able to get the treatment she needed and that her baby is perfectly healthy.
It's good it all ends up in this little girl.
Hannah Daniels, CBS News, New York.
Sarah will have 6 weeks of radiation. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.